Hey, it's Expert the Unusual. I've been gone for a while. Let's get into a new video, right? I just want to kick off my whole return with just another video for you guys. So I'm going to talk to you guys about a movie. I usually watch a movie, but this one, I just need to tell you guys about it. With, of course, some great visuals behind me, am I right? Let's just, not cut away to show what I'm actually... Yeah, this is a 1973 Turkish bootleg film called Three Dead Adam or Three Giant Men. It's very popular in the bootleg community, which I am an avid member, of course. Not really something to brag about. I go on a first date, hey, what are you into? I watch movies made for $12 using stolen characters. This is one of the most interesting movies I think has come out of like this whole community. If you get movies like, you guys ever heard of Ratatouille? You ever heard of What's Up? Balloon to the Rescue? Just really racist.
Perfect, China! I promise to give you some moo goo gai pan when we get back to the house!
This movie came out in 1973, so it is like from a whole different era of filmmaking. You know, they got all those movies that are like, this is what started filmmaking, like Godfather, Star Wars, all that. This is what started filmmaking, was Three Giant Men. Now, you want to know what it's about? It's about Captain America and the famous Mexican wrestler Santo going to Turkey to defeat the evil mafia boss Spider-Man. This might possibly be the first live-action appearance of Spider-Man in film, which is hilarious. It outdates the 70s TV show and movies. But anyways, let's just give you guys a plot synopsis, because this is like insanely confusing. It is such a weird movie. I don't understand a single thing that was going on through the creators' heads. The movie starts off with our favorite antagonist, Spider-Man. Great costume, by the way. Spectacular, spectacular! Him and his gang shove this woman into a pre-dug pit. Then they just kind of kick the dirt in to bury her and proceed to put a boat propeller into her face. This is the first 30 seconds of the movie. It's super violent. But this gets the attention of the police around the area, right? I mean, I'm assuming the police, that they're not really clear about anything in this movie. They call in Captain America, Santo, this woman, and a very confused man in the background. So let's get the obvious out of the way. Captain America, who is, obviously American, and Santo, who is, some of you might not know, he was this really famous Mexican wrestler. Obviously, then being Mexican, are both played by Turkish men, and their explanation around this is like, this cop guy is just like, wow, you guys speak really good Turkish. It's like, yeah, we go to Turkey all the time.
Türkçeyi gayet iyi konuşuyorsunuz.
Also, Spider-Man is just referred to as Spider. No man. No. And we find out what makes this guy so evil despite, that whole scene. What he does is basically, so he came to Turkey because he got a bunch of fake money into Mexico and scammed the mafia. And that's why Santo knows about him, and apparently, he's a big American criminal. But I don't know, man. All I know is his really confusing money-making scheme. Basically, he goes into other countries and buys artifacts, and then he moves them into another country, and he sells them at auctions, right? So he gets the money for them. But then he buys them back with fake money, and he's one of the world's most wanted criminals. You think this would have caught on? People would have realized, hey, this dude paid us the Monopoly money for this thing that he also sold to us. You think that might be a little bit weird? No, it's fine, just go with it. This detective, I had to Google his name, he's called Inspector Ohan. He's in charge of the whole investigation, and he explains to them all these clues as to how they know Spider's location. I don't know what these clues mean. I can't figure it out. They all seem completely unrelated to each other.
Ne gibi ipuçları tespit ettiniz? Örneğin, Tarabya koyunda şüpheli bir yat var. Ayrıca yabancı bir defile topluluğu şehrimizde faaliyette. Bir de gazetelerde sürekli şekilde kıymetli antika alınır diye bir ilan çıkmış.
But we don't have any time to focus on that because we cut to a bunch of confused men in fedoras following each other around. The lady. Go ahead, meme that. The two men in dark coats, they're part of the mafia in Turkey or Mexico, or they're part of some mafia, apparently. We don't find that out until way later. So you'll have to approach the scene the way I did, which is really confusing. But then the dude in white kills one of the mafia dudes and reveals himself to be... Now, I know you're wondering, what kind of powers does he have in this film? Like, how did they adapt, like, his, like, powers in, like, this low budget? His powers include stabbing people.
Adios, Mafia.
That's it. He just stabs people. That's his entire moveset. So the heroes, they get word of this, and the woman who came with them, her name is Julia, she's at, like, a fashion show for some reason. It's not really important to the plot. I actually don't know which woman in this scene she is, because, you know, she doesn't do anything. So then they get asked, they ask Captain America and Santo, why do you guys wear masks, right? And his explanation is amazing. He says, because Spider wears a mask, and he wants to destroy anyone else wearing a mask, because he's childish, he's a little boy. He's a little boy. And also, his suit is apparently bulletproof, except Santo's suit just involves him walking around shirtless the whole time, so I don't understand, do they really... Anyways, Julia gets caught sneaking around, and it seems like these two guys are gonna overpower her, or maybe she's gonna fight back, and then this other woman shows up, she's like, just go take her away, and the scene ends.
Arabaya koyup doğru yata götürün.
Then we're at this, like, martial arts dojo at this gym, and who I can only assume is Santo. They just kind of expect you to know who characters are in this scene. He's being watched by a mysterious woman, and then the scene cuts to Captain America at the docks. And this man seems to be throwing an invisible rope into the water. You guys following along with the plot right now? Because I sure ain't. So then Santo takes a shower in his underwear because, you know, we gotta stay PG, guys. No nudity. This is a very safe movie. Hold up. Hold up. There's some suspenseful music. I hope you guys are sitting down. You guys sitting down? It's building. It's building. And nothing happens. Of course nothing happens. Nothing's happened in this whole movie, man. Anyways, we get this super high stakes, intense chase scene. It cuts to this guy walking. And then it cuts back, super high intensity, intense car chasing. Eventually, they get to the hideout of the gang, and then policeman, he's all like, okay, I'm gonna bring this car back around to the bay, you go sneak in, Captain America. Which leaves you to wonder, if this is their plan, if Captain America saves the girl, how is he supposed to get back? So, Cap gets in by choking this guy who makes the worst sound I've ever heard in my life. So he's fighting them off, you know, he's doing some, like, nonsense acrobatics, because he doesn't have a shield in this movie, he doesn't have, like, super strength, he's an acrobat, of course. So then the fight goes on, Spider shows up, he doesn't seem to know where this house that's directly behind him is, but then he sees Captain America, his arch enemy, we find this out, they are the worst enemies ever, and he starts running away. Luckily for him, Captain America is really stupid and loses him immediately. Oh, but then he finds him 5 seconds later. It's all good, man. It's all good. Then Captain America absolutely batters this guy, who seems like he has no knowledge on fighting whatsoever. Like, this dude's swinging around on gravestones, kicking him around, right? But then the fight ends when Spider runs past a very funny drunk man.
Ulan, bütün bunlar senin.
Santo finally gets dressed up, right? When I was Googling this, it was funny to realize that he spends, like, most of the movie unmasked when the real person this is based off of, unlike the other two who were based off fictional characters, this is based off a real guy who was never seen in public unmasked. He's just walking around with a mask the entire movie. So Santo stalks this guy in this office building, and then he breaks in and proceeds to use his superpower of shoving things down his pants. But, you know, he immediately gets caught. I guess stealth wasn't his power. And, you know, this dude proceeds to call him a demon and say he probably works out.
Buna bak şeytan gibi. Bahse girerim bu salonda spor yapanlardan.
So then Santo proceeds to beat up this guy, you know, knock him out, steal his wallet, shove it down his pants. It's just what he does, man. I can just imagine at the end of the movie, like, they all meet up, like, they're about to bust Spider, and then they look to Santo, like, he's like, guys, I got the information. And then they're all like, oh my gosh, where is it? What have you got? He's like, I got all the artifacts that he stole. They're like, oh my gosh, show it, where are you keeping it? Let's just pretend I didn't do the joke. This is a great return to YouTube, guys, that show up for like, what, 5 minutes? Hey guys, subscribe to my OnlyFans. But then we cut to Spider in his first dedicated scene, you know? He's giving a big speech about how everyone who works for him is stupid and he's evil, and the music and the color keeps cutting out at random. So anyways, he pulls up in his whip. Oops. Anyways, he pulls up in his whip, right? He sneaks into this hotel room, then he runs like he's in The Sound of Music. Then we get this shot of this woman stripping down because, of course, hey, remember that thing I said about, how Santo, he takes a shower in his underwear because they gotta keep this PG? I meant only for men. Because would you believe me that this movie has, multiple dedicated naked women in it? 70s, man. Different time. Actually, not that different at the time. So, he strangles her in the shower, right, and then he steals some random stuff, and then the next morning, oh my gosh, front news page! So Santo is going to a lab to get these letters he stole last night examinated. Also, Captain America and Julia are in a relationship. It was never acknowledged before now. Also, she changed her hair overnight. Just go with it, man. Just go with it. Also, Spider-Man is in a relationship. Spider. Of course. He's in a relationship with this woman named Naja who works for him. And apparently, he's stealing statues right now as a part of his plan. Anyways, then a blind man walks around the bay. Music gets really suspenseful. Bumps into Santo and then it stops. Captain America takes a leisurely stroll while these letters are getting examinated. Cuts back and forth between it because this movie needs to spread out its runtime. He sees this man like sexually harassing this woman, and his goal is to just goof with him a little bit. He just like teases him around a bit.
Evet desen ne olur yani? İnat etmesene. Kalbimi kırıyorsun be hanım.
Does this teach him anything? So, Spider finds out that his addresses are getting leaked, you know, Santo doxed him, basically. And then he decides, it's probably this dude's fault from the earlier scene, so he takes him in, right? He does his little laugh. I love his little laugh. And then he, proceeds to have the guy's face be eaten by mice. You think upon watching this with this guy hating faces so much, you know, maybe his face got messed up, like, really badly, but we see him in an earlier scene, and he just looks like a regular old dude, you know? So why does he hate faces so much? Anyways, the cop is in the club, and he's watching this silhouette dancing, because why are we in this scene? I have no idea. I mean, this dude's barely keeping a beat going, and he gets to watch the woman strip. He's the only one who gets to see it happen, apparently. So then she, tears open a hole in
I
the
can't show
thing.
this
Part of the video, guys. Let's just, there, is that good, guys? Let's cut to a commercial, right?
Do you have spiders in your life stabbing you? It's spider repellent. Yeah.
So he has a chat with the bartender about the woman who just performed, and he seems to have no recollection of this person he just watched, who she is, or even what a stripper is.
Yarın akşam Miss Janet var. Kim dedin? Miss Janet dedim. Kimmiş o? Demek tanımayasın. Striptiz yapar, habıyla soyunu. Anladım.
So then Captain America and Santo appear, and I forgot they were in the movie at this point. Because it's been 20 minutes of this. So they come back to do what they do best, which is fighting, of course. This whole fight scene is really poorly edited. They try to grab a car at the end, it drives away, it crashes kind of. Somehow they escape, and this is the worst whistling noise I've ever heard. Who did the sound design for this movie? Then, of course, because we haven't had enough yet, it cuts to a shower, let's say, love scene. Then Spider is just kind of watching them. Like, then he breaks in. He has a sword. I don't know where he got it from. Then he stabs the two of them. Only one of them is in any visual pain, really. Then, I guess, because why not? Julia's gonna disguise herself as a stripper, because I guess we haven't objectified her enough. And Captain America is pretty fine with this, but Santo takes very deep offense to being called
Frank Sinatra!
Then this might be the worst scene coming up. So Spider and Naja have a sex scene, right? And, the statues come to life and watch them. There's a scene of Spider talking, then he's just kind of walking around fondling his statues. Then a fight scene starts, which seems to be two different fight scenes cut together. Whenever he fights one, the other just kind of disappears. Also, it's different locations, which is- wait, what's going on here? There's two of them. Okay. There's three of them. What? How many were there? Were there this many the entire movie? Okay, let's ignore that he seems to clone himself, apparently, because now we gotta go back to the club. So Cap and Santo, they're like, immediately, let's start drinking on the job, guys. It'll be fine. Then there's like a fight that starts or something. Julia calls in backup. Anyways, they all get captured, basically. Nothing is really happening for a while, but then we see Cap and Santo in their prison cell. I think Julia wasn't kidnapped or something. She just knocked out. But anyways, the guards are like super chill. You know, Cap and Santo are just inside. Then Cap suddenly decides to go insane and start beating Santo to death.
Nasıl, bana mı? Evet, geberteceğim seni, geberteceğim!
But oh no, the secret plan. He didn't tell him. He just started beating him up and then told him halfway through, hey, just go with it, alright, we're gonna break out. This ends up working, apparently, because the guards come in and break up the fight, and then they turn the tables on them, if you will. The music for this scene doesn't fit. Of course it doesn't. One of these guys finally pulls out their gun and starts shooting at them, but luckily Cap had his bulletproof suit on underneath, which they didn't bring up at all until this point. Except for that one scene at the start. Anyway, Spider and his girlfriend show up, girlfriend gets shot, Spider runs off, more Spider people show up. This might have just been the original Spider-Verse, to be honest. But then Spider pulls out his gun and he does a little laugh. Keeps shooting at Captain America's chest, like, shoot him in the head. This always happens. Like, they keep aiming for the chest, assuming eventually one bullet will break through, maybe. Anyways, Spider-Man only had one bullet in his gun, so he runs away again. He turns on, like, a super strong fan that manages to blow Captain America back, which delays him for, like, a minute straight. Continue fighting, it's not lit properly. Spider keeps hitting Captain America with random stuff, but then it turns out that's not the real Spider. That's the real Spider. You can tell by his little laugh. These two clumsily flop around on this thing until the help arrives. Looks like Spider's gonna kick Captain America off, but then Spider falls off, and oh, okay, he just died, like, just like that. Okay, it was really abrupt, but oh no, it wasn't him again. So Cap starts chasing him because he's probably as sick of this as the rest of us. They go into this construction area, some stuff falls, some guys get lifted up, and then Spider-Man is totally dead. Absolutely, nope, it's not him. So the help finally arrives. This time, it's the real Spider, definitely not an imposter. This one has a weirdly stained outfit, though, so I don't even know what happens here, but Spider dies. For real. Definitely real. That was him. Wait, it was him? That was... What? That was the actual ending? Anyways, the day is saved, everybody's saying goodbye, but then Captain America sees Spider in the back of a taxi and oh! It was just a little kid dressed up like this mass serial killer criminal. How cute! You guys have a great time with that movie? I certainly didn't. It's really weird to look upon like these like random bootleg movies. You get a few moments of like genuine intrigue and like hilariously insane moments between all the like hours of boring shit. Feels great to be back uploading. That was just a quick little thing, and yeah, destroy the like button. subscribe. Hopefully we can kick off my return by getting us to 500 subs. Follow me on social medias, do all that and more. Do yourself, do what makes you happy. Peace out. Ooh.